What's up, everybody? Jared again here from Drip Drop Vapor Shop in McClenny, Florida, and we have a coil build for you today. We have our man AC in-house, and he's going to build you a set of Clapton coils. So here we go.
Alright, so today for this build we're going to be using 26 gauge Canthal as our inner wire, and we're going to be doing Fused Claptons, meaning there's going to be two wires sitting on the inside of a higher gauge wire. In this case we're using 30 gauge. We're also going to need two sets of pliers, some ceramic tweezers, some wire cutters, Allen key for my Twisted Messes RDA, my Stanley set, some organic Japanese cotton, my mod, and a drill. Alright, so I'm going to take a few feet of this 26 gauge wire. It's roughly about 2.5–3 feet. I'm going to hold this tight. I'm going to snip it. And you see how this wire is all kinked up in a big circle? So now what I'm going to do is put this here in the drill. This is our 26 gauge. I'm going to tighten it down. I'm going to take a pair of pliers. I'm going to pull it out until it's nice and tight. And I'm just going to give the drill a fire for a few seconds. Okay, so now I'll run my fingers down. What this is going to do is it's going to completely straighten out the wire. So it was in a circle, but now the wire is completely straight. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip this end off, just like that. Now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to snip it into two equal pieces. Okay, so you see how this wire is a little bit longer than this one? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip it into two equal pieces just like that. And now we have two perfectly equal pieces of 26 gauge. So now I'm going to put this 26 gauge into the drill. I'm going to tighten it down nice and tight so the wires don't slip out. Just like that. As you can see, they're nice and tight in the drill and still parallel. Alright, so I've unspooled about 7 feet of this 30 gauge wire. I'm going to snip it, and I'm going to get rid of our spool of 30 gauge wire. Now I'm going to put this into the drill. Alright, so now I'm putting our 30 gauge into the drill, just like that. And now we're ready to start our Fused Clapton. So generally what I do is I'll hold my thumb and my index finger right here on this Fused Clapton, or on this 30 gauge wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start slowly spinning the drill just to start off. And at the beginning, if it's not perfect, it doesn't really matter, because you're generally not going to use this section of the Clapton anyways. So now that we're a good ways off, I'm going to start firing the drill pretty fast. So generally when you're doing Fused Claptons, the wire's just going to fall into line by itself, and you can just kind of guide the wire and let it do its own thing. And you're going to notice at the end here that this 26 gauge on the inside is going to twist up on itself, but that's really easy to fix when we get done with this. So now we're coming up to the end of this wire right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep firing it until we get all the way to the end. And generally at this point, I'll bring it back onto itself, just like that, so it kind of holds the wire into place. Alright, so right now we're going to take this wire out of the drill. We're just going to hold the wire just like this, take it out of the drill. Okay, so now we're going to snip this end right here, where it was in the drill. So now I'm going to snip this end right here too, and there's our wire. Alright, so generally with the Fused Clapton, you're going to notice when you get done with this, all of these little spins in these inner wires right here. That's really easy to fix, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So now that we have our wire back into the drill, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it in the opposite way of which I Claptoned it. I'm going to grab it with a pair of pliers on the end. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a few fires just like this. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring that twist. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to be using a 3mm screwdriver. This is just a flathead. That's the one we have. So, I didn't quite get all of those twists out of this inner wire, but when we start wrapping the coils, it's going to be really easy to get these twists out. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this flattest end, I'm going to put it right here on the screwdriver. I'm going to give it one twist over. I'm going to grab a pair of pliers. I'm going to straighten this wire out. I'll do this for every wrap. So now I'll do my second wrap, just like this. Grab my pliers, straighten out this inner wire, right here. Do my 3rd wrap. Okay. So now my 4th wrap. And for this build, I'm going to be doing 5 wraps on a dual coil. And right there is our 5th wrap. Just like that. So now I'm just going to take this end and get it as close as I possibly can. Alright, and there's our first coil for our Fused Clapton. Alright, so now I am snipping this one lead that's going to go into the positive post, because if not, it's going to make connection with that other coil, and that's going to cause it to short out, and you definitely don't want to vape on a short. Okay, so now I'm going to take my screwdriver that I wrap my coils with. I'm going to pick this coil up, make sure it's not touching that positive post right there in the middle. And it looks like we're nice and cleared. I'm actually going to take out these leads and push this coil a little bit closer so it's not making connection with my top cap, because that will also cause it to short. I'm going to make sure that your leads are nice and tight. Alright, so now it's time to fire this coil and work all the hot spots out. Get it nice and close. And right now we're already looking pretty good. Doesn't look like there's too many hot spots inside of this coil. The beauty about using ceramic tweezers is that you can actually pulse your coil while you're squeezing it, so you know where all your hot spots are. Alright, and just like that, both of our coils are glowing evenly from the inside out. She's ready to be wicked. Just like that. Alright, so now it's time to wick our Fused Claptons. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one end of this cotton and roll it up. That just makes it a lot easier to put into your Claptons here. Okay. Now I'm going to put it in and through the Fused Claptons. And what you're going to want to do now is kind of pull it in and out and back and forth. What that's going to do is it's going to fluff up the cotton that is inside the Fused Clapton. Alright, so now I have my scissors. I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. I'm going to snip it about there. I'm going to snip it about there. So I'm going to take my tweezers and start fluffing out these ends. What this is going to do is make it hold and wick juice a lot better. So I'm going to do that on both ends. And now that I have done that, I'm going to stuff it down under the Fused Clapton. So now once you have it stuffed down on both sides, what you're going to want to do is make sure there's nice room underneath that coil. Just like this. You're going to get the best airflow this way. Alright, so right here, this is my preferred juice. It's by Fog Farm. It's by Johnny Copper. It's called Addy Roll. It's a peaches, mangoes, and papaya. You can pick this up here at Drip Drop Vapor Shop, and it is an 80-20 blend. Alright, so just the Fused Claptons alone hold a lot of juice by themselves. So now you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about as I drip this juice on here. Watch it just soak up all of that juice. And I haven't even moved to separate parts of the wick yet. Now I'm going to start painting it onto either side. Just like this, making sure I get under that coil and everything. Alright, so this is on 90 watts with my Fused Claptons that I freshly built. So here's a little bit of the vapor production. Alright guys, so with these Fused Claptons, this flavor is through the roof. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a good day, guys. Boom.